Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Andrea and I have been selling on Etsy for 8 years. This YouTube channel is just where we talk about strategies that have worked in the past, things that are currently working, and I bring you guys along for all the new things that I'm trying in my Etsy shop at the current moment. So it's like the journey of my shop. So if that is interesting to you, you are in the right place. Today specifically, we are going to be diving into how does print on demand work? Okay, so ever since I have been posting on Instagram and YouTube about my new print on demand venture, I guess, I have been getting a lot of questions about how it all works, what it is, why, like just a lot of questions about print on demand specifically. And so I did want to address those. If you haven't been following along, I have been doing Etsy for 8 years and we have been doing embroidery, like specifically monogram products, for the bulk of that time. And we just decided to sell all of our machines and sort of kill the embroidery side of the business and do print on demand instead. So all of that is broken down in a couple of videos that I can link here in the cards or wherever if you are more interested in learning about that decision. But basically, we are changing everything about what my shop currently sells and what we are doing. So it's kind of like a crazy decision, and I am bringing you guys along as we switch over from embroidery to print on demand in my Etsy shop. So that being said, this video is definitely not like a expert level video as far as like, I've been doing print on demand for 6 years and I know the ins and outs of everything. It's more of like a video of what I've learned about it so far, how it actually works, all those sorts of things. So I can definitely answer like how it works and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, this video is more of like my experience as definitely what I would consider to be a beginner in the print on demand scene. So all that being said, let's dive into how it works. So first things first, what even is it? So I know that like when I shared it on Instagram, I was using like POD is usually the acronym. It stands for print on demand. Obviously, if you're this far in this video, you've gathered that much. But definitely people were like, what does POD even mean? What does that even mean? So basically, I describe print on demand as selling a digital product with a physical product attached to it. So basically, the whole, I guess, premise of print on demand is that you can design a product using Canva or Photoshop or Procreate or whatever. You make a digital design of a product, go on to a third party print on demand service provider like Printify or Printful, upload that design to one of the products in their catalog. Of course, they have a bajillion products in their catalog. It definitely doesn't just stop at sweatshirts. They have like t-shirts, shorts, all over prints, mugs, candles, like they can print on seemingly anything. And then you make your design in Printify, publish the listing to Etsy, and then whenever a customer buys from Etsy, Printify or Printful packs, makes, ships that item out to your customer. So basically what it does is you have now designed a sweatshirt and then you basically let a third party take it from there. They make, pack, and ship it. So it's very, very, very passive, and like, I feel like it's the equivalent of selling a digital product on Etsy, but a physical product is attached. But the reason why it feels like a digital product is that you aren't actually making the physical product, if that makes sense. So like, as far as your work is concerned, it's digital. And then as far as your customer is concerned, it's physical. So it's like a very, very passive income opportunity on Etsy right now. So I basically explained already in short version of how it works, but basically to understand how print on demand works, you definitely need to know that there is the third party provider that's basically doing everything for you. And I have actually already made, if you want like a step-by-step how-to tutorial, I've already made a video on this channel where I walk you through designing my first design in Printify, which is the service provider I chose, which we will dive into that next. But basically, all you do is go into Canva, make your design. Obviously, you want your design to be keyword friendly, something that people are going to actually purchase, and then choose your third party service, like third party printer and upload it on their platform according to their things, and then you publish directly from there. So I think that was something that I didn't understand before I started to do it. And all of this stuff is very, very, very straightforward once you actually start. Like once you just start the process, very, very straightforward. At least it was for Printify. And so I guess I did not understand that you publish the listing from Printify, and then I went in and edited the photos. So when you publish it, it publishes to a draft listing in your shop. And then I went in and edited the photos. I think I edited the title in Etsy. I also edited the description. I went and filled out the Etsy listing, but the original listing has to come from Printify. So you push it to upload from Printify and then go edit all of your SEO details in Etsy. I hope that this isn't too overwhelming. Like basically all you need to know is that you design a product, use Printify to put that product on whatever like item in their catalog that you want to sell it on, and then push the listing to Etsy from Printify, and then edit the SEO details within Etsy, and then you have an active Etsy listing live. Maybe I should do a video kind of bringing you guys through that whole process of actually pushing a listing live, because I feel like that could be confusing. So maybe I will do that in the future. But basically that is how print on demand works. It's very, very, very passive, which is the goal of like, that was me and my husband's goal, was to create more passive income, get rid of our lease at our shop, come back, bring the business all back into home because we're about to have a baby. So that was really, really important to us. And one of the reasons why I was drawn to print on demand is just because it's so passive and so easy. I can at least say that Printify was really, really easy, which brings me to the next question I want to answer, which is why did I choose Printify? To be 100% honest with you, I am not the type of person to research a ton of stuff. Like, I'm just not a huge researcher as far as like, if something's good enough, it's good enough. Like, I don't even like to read menus at restaurants. I'm just the type of person that's like, okay, like that's always good, whatever. I don't like to like deep dive into every single angle of things. I've never been that way. I've never been that way in my business, and it's always been fine. So I feel like that also is like a self-fulfilling prophecy, because I'm like, well, it's always worked before. But anyways, I literally, when I decided that I wanted to do print on demand, I knew that I could either make it into a huge task and get overwhelmed and never do it, or I could just start and do it. And so I just Googled which print on demand service provider is best. And I think like the first result just said use Printify, and I was like, great, I'll use Printify. And there were a couple of other YouTubers that I follow that decided on Printify as well. And so I just decided on Printify very quickly. I will say though, I am making a video later on, either this month or in a couple weeks, that is all about why I chose Printify, and I will break down that decision in depth. But just first and foremost, there are a few things I really like about it. They have a good catalog of products, very reputable, and it's super, super easy to use, which I have loved so far. So that is the main reason why I chose Printify. Of course, not super like, I don't know if that's like the hard and fast best answer, but I am loving it so far. The products that you can use on print on demand, the things that you can make on print on demand, obviously depend on your service provider, which is something that you're going to want to look at when you are choosing a service provider. So if you are looking at Printful and Printify and you are really wanting to do candles, you might want to make sure that like one, or like something that's more out there, not that candles are out there, but like not t-shirts. Like t-shirts, obviously every print on demand service provider is going to do t-shirts and sweatshirts. But if you're wanting to do something that's a little more different or unique for print on demand, like I would say candles would be that, you're going to want to look at the specifics of what each service provider is offering. But truly your options are like unlimited when it comes to print on demand. There are so many things that you can make and sell. It's almost overwhelming. So I do recommend just starting with one, because literally it can be like, oh my gosh, I can make so many things when it comes to print on demand. But just like scrolling through Printify's catalog, there is just mountains of products that they are able to print on, some of which might be very, very untapped, because most people are in the like the sweatshirt niche. And so it might really be worth checking out like random things like boxers or something, because they might be more or less untapped for that niche. So, and that's something I should consider. Anyways, you can basically, I wanted the point I'm trying to make here is that your options are basically unlimited when it comes to print on demand. And if you are wanting something rather specific, to look at that ahead of time before you choose a provider. So right out the gate for me, I'm just gonna talk about things I'm loving so far when it comes to print on demand. Like I said, I'm really, really new to this. The first thing I'm really, really enjoying is that it's so easy. Every part about it is easy. Just Printify, I've already mentioned, is really easy, but using Canva is so easy. And then I pulled one design into Procreate, and that was really simple. I don't consider myself to be good at designing at all, and I felt like getting 5 designs up and ready to go was not complicated at all. So like if you are using Canva, Printify, and Etsy to list, I will say that it is very, very, very simple. Like I felt like I just had such a good experience just doing exactly that. So anyways, I have found that it's really easy, and I'm really, really enjoying that process just because it's so simple. And then the other thing that I really am enjoying about print on demand as of right now is the SEO aspect. So I will say that I love Etsy keywords. If you are new to this channel, that is like how we get our orders. All the people that watch this channel either regularly or have even seen probably like 2 other videos would know that I am a huge fan of Etsy SEO. It is what I credit the past 8 years to in my shop. We've never been good at Instagram, none of that. Like we do Etsy SEO. So I really enjoy that portion of selling on Etsy. I enjoy keyword hunting. I enjoy looking for untapped niches and trending products and all that kind of stuff. I really, really, really enjoy it. So because of that, I am enjoying print on demand because by its nature, it's more competitive and it is like all keyword focused. So if you hate SEO with a burning passion and you've actually explored it, like it's not just something that overwhelms you, because obviously I would never tell someone to let that stop them. But if you really hate SEO, it might not be as good of a thing. We're going to talk about who I think it's good for next. But I have found that at least for our marketing strategy, print on demand is very reliant on being good at keywords. And I feel like that is something that I truly enjoy about Etsy. Like I actually like researching keywords, finding keywords that are working. It's something that's, I don't know if that makes me a nerd, but I am enjoying that so far. So I'm enjoying how simple it is to get up and running. It's so straightforward. And then also I'm really truly enjoying the SEO and keyword aspect of print on demand and on Etsy. I'm just really liking it a lot. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about is who print on demand is good for. So I kind of mentioned that we were going to talk about this next, and this is just the last thing I want to touch on in this video, is if you're watching this and you're like, okay, I understand what it is. I think I'm techie enough to do it. I definitely like the idea of starting. I just wanted to cover like the last little bit, like, is this a good thing for me? So I think that people who, so there's a couple of things that I think are really, I guess, qualifiers that make it really, I think anyone can do print on demand, but really good for print on demand specifically. And so first things first, if you are comfortable with Etsy SEO, or you have a really big social media following that's like dedicated to you. So like for me, I'm very comfortable with researching keywords. I understand Etsy SEO. It is something that I really enjoy. And so that made print on demand an appealing option for me. Or and I don't have a social media following of that's that large, but say you are an influencer or something like that, and you're just looking for a little bit of passive income, and you have like an Instagram with 50,000 like followers that like you, and you could just toss out some merch and all go through a print on demand service provider, definitely print on demand would be really good for you. So that's just the marketing piece. Like if you have either of those marketing, I guess, or you feel comfortable learning either of those marketing strategies, I feel like print on demand would be a really good option for you. The next thing is people who are semi good at tech, like good at Canva. Obviously, I'm going to say this disclaimer a billion times, but if you are not good at tech, you do not have an audience, you don't know Etsy SEO, you can still do print on demand. It just might take a little more learning for you. However, if you have any of these skills or assets, print on demand might be a very obvious next choice for you. I hope that's making sense. Obviously, I would never tell anyone to not do it because I do think it's a really, really good passive income opportunity. All that being said, if you are good at Canva or good at Photoshop, basically good at design, I do think that print on demand would be a really, really, really good option for you along with digital products. Just if you have an eye for design and the technical know-how to make those come to fruition, I do think that print on demand would be a super good business opportunity for you. And the last thing is just people who want to try something new and are willing to learn the necessary steps to do it. So if you are like, yeah, okay, I'm good at Canva and I have a social media following, but you're just happy where you're at, just be happy where you're at. You do not need to do print on demand. However, if you are really wanting to try something new, add a passive income opportunity, and you have one of the other things or you don't, definitely print on demand is something that is very, very rewarding because you can truly get designs up and running very, very quickly, which is, I think, something that makes it extra fun, is that it is very rewarding in the sense that it's not this grueling process to get a sweatshirt out into the world. It's very simple and rewarding in that way. So if you want to try something new, you want to add on a passive income opportunity, you're watching this and you're like, I have a little bit of extra time, I want to do this, print on demand might be a very, very good option for you. So all that being said, I really, really hope that this video was helpful if you are just trying to just learn more about print on demand, wondering how it works, all that kind of stuff. I hope I answered your questions in a straightforward way that made sense. But yeah, always my goal on this channel, aside from just bringing you guys along for the journey, is to break down Etsy concepts or Etsy strategies that might feel overwhelming into a very, very simple way to understand them. So I hope that this video accomplished that. I make 2 new videos every single week all about Etsy. So if you're interested in that, make sure to subscribe and let me know in the comments if you guys are wanting to start a print on demand business and are interested in that. I would love to hear more about it because I am new too. So thank you so much for watching.